it's time to talk business with our partners 2 Degrees. Kiwibank now has the green light to go fishing for $500 million of new capital. Garth Bray Business Desk, good morning.
Hey Ryan.
So they've got this green light, and there's also the potential down the line for a potential partial float on the stock exchange
Yeah,
too.
but there's a bit of a lack of interest from the market around that because there's not that much detail, right? So $500 million sounds like a lot of money to you and me, but it's like a third of probably the profits stated for one of the big banks that they're trying to compete against. So in and of itself, it's not a big chunk, and I guess it was quite light on detail, what we got out of the announcements yesterday. I mean, it is good that they're able to go looking, but there's some questions about exactly what the structure of that will be, exactly how they will be looking to raise those funds. And because there's that lack of information around a possible IPO, initial public offering, a chance for all of us perhaps to invest and buy in there, there's probably, our team were picking up a bit of reluctance from the market because they're saying things like, well, who are the directors going to be? There was also some criticism, I think, from Sam Stubbs, who's a pretty activist investor and fundraiser himself, saying, well, the board's not commercial enough. We want to see some board changes, and arguably you wouldn't necessarily get that if they're just raising debt. If they're actually looking at equity and so on, potentially there's a chance for you to sort of get in there and say, well, we'd like to see this person change. So it's probably gone over a little bit rather than yay, to put it kind of bluntly and simply, just around some of those reasons.
Then there's the other issue of, will it actually achieve what the government says that it's hoping to achieve by having the capital injected in the first place, which is for it to be a bigger, beefed up bank that can take on the Australians. And I spoke to Claire Matthews this morning from Massey University. She was saying it's never going to be that.
It's a drop in the ocean, really, and that's Stubbs again, but it really is. It's a very nominal amount, and because there's no possibility of much greater raising at this stage anyway, it sort of feels a little bit like too soon to tell whether it's actually going to have the impact. I mean, you don't want to take anything away from them. They're a challenger bank that's in there trying to sort of cut in, but good luck to them.
We spoke yesterday and you brought us the news about Air New Zealand's new chief executive. Of course, Greg Foran is on the way out. How's the announcement landed in the last 24 hours?
Well, I guess interest. I think people think good on you. He was probably seen, Nicole Ravichanka, as this sort of strong internal candidate, and I think, like we talked about, probably good for them to go from inside. Interesting, not sort of from an aviation background, and I know from amongst the kind of the crew side, the flying side of the operation, that's probably a negative. They'd rather see someone who's run airlines before. But I guess some positives from directors and chairs that he's worked for before in places like Vector, saying, hey, look, he brings a customer focus, and that's what arguably has maybe been missing from the airline for a while, is a focus on us, the people who want to fly. He's been involved in restructuring the loyalty program. He got a paperless flight deck up and running. So one of our markets reporters, Rebecca Stevenson's been doing some looking around that and saying, look, they've obviously put him in roles to try and blood him for the situation of being in charge as a chief executive. So we'll see how that rolls.
We will. And the next big job that needs filling, of course, is NZR. Sean Robinson's on his way out, so they need a new boss. And where are they going to get theirs from?
Hey, you were talking about Meta before and Facebook and all that kind of stuff.
Yes.
They've just dropped results. $80 billion is their revenue in the last quarter. It's a 22% lift. Share price is up 10%.
Oh, lovely.
They are making like bandits.
That'll be off the back of all the drug deals on Facebook that Michael Morris talking about.
Maybe they can afford to hire a few moderators along the way. Anyway.
I think so. No, you don't want to hire moderators. That cuts into your bottom line. Thank you, Garth. Garth Bray Business Desk with us this morning. And thanks to our business partners, 2 Degrees.